thanks for joining us for Cooking with Granny Sue today. I'm cooking pot roast today. And I don't use a lot of seasonings, I just use a few, and I use Killer Hog AP rub because it's a very good rub, and then I use Chupacabra, and that's from Two Gringos out of San Antonio, Texas. And it also is a very good rub. It just gives your meat a pizzazz. It brings the flavors out so well. And not just beef. It does pork, chicken, turkey, all of it. Everything I've tried it on, it really gives the meat brings out the flavors of the meat actually. And I don't put a whole bunch on it. I just lightly cover everything with it. And then it goes in the pot, and I use this big cast iron pot, my favorite pots, and I started out at 325 degrees in my oven for the first hour and a half. This is the celery. I put 2 stalks of celery in mine, and I chip it up small. You might not like as much celery as we do, so that's kind of a judgment call. And then I put garlic in it, and I use about 1.25 tablespoons of garlic powder. Minced garlic. You can use garlic powder though. If I use garlic powder, it's like 1.5 teaspoons, but I prefer using garlic. And then you spread it out a little so it's not all in one spot. Sometimes I notice that it kind of all clumps up in one spot, and spread it out a little bit. And then I add enough water just to cover it well. I think it's like 2 or 4 cups of water. But every roast is different. Yours might be thinner or thicker than mine, but it just covers you have to cover your roast and stuff well. And now that it's covered, we put the lid on it, and it goes in the oven for the first hour and a half. And now we put, after the hour and a half, we put potatoes and carrots. I put 2 potatoes, large potatoes, and 3 carrots in mine. And I spread them out to where they're covered with the liquid as best I can. If I need to, I add a little liquid at this point. But everything needs to be kind of covered just so it's not out there with no liquid over it. And that's why I use this big pan too, because it's easier to get it down in the pan good at the sides, unless you have a huge roast, which we don't have that big a family, so we don't need a huge roast. And then it goes back in the oven. At this point, I turn the oven up to 350 degrees, and it goes back in the oven for about 3 hours. The lid, and then back to the oven. And now we're mixing up ingredients to make our gravy. I use 2 tablespoons of flour and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And while it's dry, I mix it up well. It helps if it's all mixed up well, then you don't have one thing clumping up and the other dissolving right. Flour's harder to get to dissolve than cornstarch. And I put about 1 cup of water in it, and I mix it up real good. And it don't hurt to mix it. You mix it as long as you think it's necessary till it's all mixed up and it's just a real liquid starting out. And now we get the roast out. And now the thing about it now is you have to wait and let it quit boiling to add the ingredients to make the gravy, because if you do not, you're going to have very lumpy gravy and it won't be good. At this point, I'll also say, some people think if you add some salt and pepper to that mixture, it won't clump up as bad. I never add salt and pepper, and I never have a problem as long as it's not boiling. And it makes a very good gravy. And it's easy to make. You put that in, and once I get the gravy added in, then I also add onion. This time I added one medium onion. Some people like less onion, and if you have a big family that likes a lot of onion, you might want to put a large onion in. But I don't like the onion cooked where it's a million little pieces, so I put it in the last 15 or 20 minutes I'm going to cook it. I usually cook all this 20 minutes. That's what I am doing today. And I spread the onions out well over it so it's on all sides of it. And it's laying right on the top so it don't get cooked too much and just disintegrate. Now we get the lid and back to the oven. And now voila, we have gravy. Thanks for stopping in and seeing us today, and thanks for watching my video. Please share and subscribe to it, and I appreciate all my people that watch me. Thank you very much.